Sana Sahanao Bunaktu
Saha Viryam
Who-
Karavahe.
Somebody wants to talk. Who wants to talk?
Prem Dave's singing with you.
I was thinking, but somebody started talking.
Prem Dave.
So who wants to talk?
Prem Dave was singing.
I
with
was
you.
singing
Oh,
with you.
great. I didn't know that. So Prim Deb, we don't,
Maybe mute
just-
yourself so you can sing along, but we can hear Issa sing.
no, I'm really happy to hear somebody else sing it.
But
I
then
don't
we
know
can't
what-
hear anybody sing. The problem is it doesn't really work that way for
It
two
only
people
lets
to
one.
sing not in the same room. So then we can't hear you sing and we can't hear Prem Dave sing at the same time. It's funky. It's super funky.
The thing I want
Uh-oh.
to talk about is why does Prim Deb disappear all the time?
That's a question.
I think
So you guys, wait. So you guys can't see me right now?
No.
No.
You're
See,
not-
what's
think if
happening
you're
is
gonna
now
come-
I'm
I think if you're gonna come to Dharma Night, you should
No, like-
be able to see you the whole time.
well, for some reason on my phone, whenever I want to speak, I press something that says tap to speak. And that's when you guys tell me that you can't see me. And then when I click done speaking, then you can see me. Isn't that weird?
Okay, now other people have phones. Clint, do you have a phone? You got a
Okay.
phone. don't you?
Okay, so how does this, now you can see me,
You got a
right?
red
Because
iPhone,
now I'm
don't
talking.
you?
Yes, when you're
Yes.
on the Zoom app, you have the option to keep your video on and to mute or unmute yourself.
Okay, well, I'll try this. I did something different. I'm not sure what, but hopefully this will continue to work.
Yeah, we can.
We're
see.
happy for you to figure this out now. That's part of Dharma Night.
She did.
Where are you going?
I want to change my pen position.
Yeah.
Okay, well, maybe you already figured it out because you're here and you were talking. Now, you want to sing that song for us? From Deb.
Sure. Yeah, I'll sing it. At least how I think it goes. Sahana bhavatu. Sahana bonaktu. Saha viryam karavavahe. Tejasmina varhitamastu. Ma vidvisha vahe. Om.
That's beautiful. And do you know what you're singing? I don't know what it is. I don't even know why I know it by heart.
It's part
It's
of
on Chants. It's on this Ravi Shankar album, which is I think called Chants of India.
Well, I didn't learn it there, that's for
it's
sure.
part of the Mahabharat that you learn from Jalot. And it's
Yeah, of course
also
I
part of the Siddha Yoga chants.
Which one?
I believe one of the maybe the Yota Sayota. There's a couple of those chants that we know where it's at the end of it.
So maybe that would be it, at the end of something Siddha Yoga. Because we just focused only on Siddha Yoga for 5 years. So I've clearly absorbed some of that.
Yeah, we used to sing it at Marine Street.
Okay, do you remember the song that has that at the end?
Our own Rudra Yoga chant also has it at the end.
I remember doing that at the end of Rudra, though.
Do you remember what song it was?
No.
Okay, Merchant might remember.
We sing it as part of the invocation to Rudra. It's part of a longer group of short mantras And I'm looking up a copy of it so I can tell you the meaning, because that meaning is very special. It really has to do with, may we, teacher and student, never have enmity with one another. May we do our work together, be successful together, like that. It has that kind of meaning to it. It's a beautiful thing. And I believe I can find it pretty quickly.
I wonder where Clint went. He left us seeing his chair. Oh, there he is. Yeah, he muted his microphone. When we're on the big screen TV, like 80 inches, there's a microphone with a red line through it. So you can actually see if somebody mutes their microphone. That's new. You've seen our TV, Clint. Imagine this being on the TV. Yeah, really.
Okay, the meaning is, may we, guru and disciple, be protected together. May we enjoy the fruits of our actions together. May we achieve strength together. May our knowledge be full of light. May we never have enmity for one another.
Wow. And what's at the end of?
I'm reading it off of our own Rudra invocation.
Oh, well, that's probably where I learned it. I must have sung the Rudra Yoga invocation at some point.
Yeah, that whole thing starts with the Om Namo Bhagavate Rudraya,
Om
and
Namo.
then has the Parvati Pate Ha
Hara,
Ha
Hara,
Mahadev.
Mahadev,
Mahadev Nityananda
Nanda,
Gurave Shisha
Shansara.
Samparane Bhakta
Hare Hare Hara,
Jaya
Namaste
Namaste
Shishanatmane. Om Sahana Bhavatu.
Shivaya Gurave Sachidanandamurtaye Nishprapanchaya Shantaya Niralambaya Tejase Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Saha Viryam Karvavahe Tejas Vinavadita Mastu Madidishabahe Om Shanti 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 Sadhgurunath Maharaj Ki Jai.
You know, I know that whole thing.
That's the one I know.
I'm just singing a piece of it, but I know the whole thing.
Yeah, and the piece in that tune that you like to sing it, that's from Jalota.
Aha!
Yeah, that's the way he sings it inside of the Mahabharata.
The piece that I know is something he sings inside the Mahabharata.
Yes, in that tune, the tune you sing it in, the Sahana
That's
Bhavatu.
his too.
That's his tune. Yeah.
Wow. I spent a month just at his house singing with him. And then he came to our house for a month. Did I know you then?
No.
No. But I knew there were
I
two
was there.
people. You say it again?
I was there with Jalota in Marine Street.
Were you there that whole month?
I don't know. I was visiting probably at that point. I was still running my ashram.
Oh, there were two people that lived with us, Spanda and the girl from California. Remember her?
Brogian. Brogian.
Who?
Brogian.
Brogdian?
That didn't ring a bell. Never heard that word before.
Her name was Brogian. But then-
Brogdian.
No, I don't know that name. No, this is somebody we know really well.
Victoria?
Spanda. What? No, Victoria was there. Spanda and they came together.
Uma?
No, but that's a good guess. But I think she was only part of us through the Malibu period. Lochana,
Oh, Lochana.
yeah. So they were there that whole month with Chalota, and now we know that Rama was there maybe all of it or some of the time, and we didn't know you yet. You know, it's really interesting, you know, when you have a wish, just a positive wish, whatever it is, or like for your life to have meaning, or for whatever you do in the world to cause it to get better, whatever your inner wish is, you have a wish like that, you are perfectly guided by that intelligent force. You know, we call it the Shakti or the Holy Spirit. It's like the aspect of God that directs us and in the right direction. I like in the Armenian church where they talked a lot about seeing the difference between the Armenian church way of looking at things and a lot of other Christian denominations is they see God and Jesus and the Holy Spirit is all the same thing, made out of the same substance. Whereas a lot of it, it's like God here, and then Jesus here, and then the Holy Spirit. And I just think that really totally makes sense. Because I know the Spirit guides us, but it also allows us to have it starts with the D, discrimination. Holy Spirit gives us the power of discrimination. So if we can find the Holy Spirit and live in it, like almost like that sci-fi movie, This Planet Earth, where the guy says, "I came from Metaluna," and then when he says that, this it's like a cocoon, a veil, a clear veil comes over his body. It's like that. Island Earth. Clint, do you have something you'd like to talk about from New York?
I spent a few hours at an auction to get Geo a
Brush.
one of a kind. Al, okay, do you know this? Are you aware of there's the Kansas City Chiefs.
Kansas City Chiefs?
Yeah, there's the Kansas City Chiefs, and during their playoff run, one of the players' wives, started to design these jackets and these hoodies, and she sort of pieced them together in a way that it was like an old-fashioned, in high school you have your jacket, your Letterman jacket.
Like a quilt?
The letter
Yeah,
jacket.
it was almost like a quilt. So she would take these pieces, like a piece of a player's jersey, and she would make almost like it looked to me like it was a quilt, but then it became really popular because the Swifties knew, and Taylor Swift would wear one when she would watch the game. It was like this kind of jacket piece with all these quilted badges of the Chiefs. And then they became really popular. And
I guess they did.
yeah, they became very popular. And then all of a sudden, some other designers started to collaborate with them, with the wife, and started to make more things. And so now they came out with a line, like a collegiate line of apparel, and you can't buy them at the retail store. They go out on auction. So my son doesn't say he wants things, but like I can tell when he wants things. And I found an Alabama hoodie that was designed by her and a rapper, and I spent a couple of hours bidding for it. And the rapper's name is Travis Scott, and it's this beautiful hoodie with Alabama badges on it.
Wow.
And
Did you win?
You run
won.
You got it?
Won.
Woohoo!
How much was the auction at the beginning?
In the beginning, it was $200.
And what was it? What was the winning bid? How much was that?
It was just around $400.
Oh. Wasn't that crazy an auction?
No, it wasn't bad. It was just the fact that you can't find them in stores.
Is it online auction or is it
It
a
was.
place?
It was last night. Yeah, I was on an auction.
In a place where real
Yeah,
people
in
live?
this auction site. It's like one of these
interesting.
auction sites that kids get shoes.
Did you give it to him yet?
Well, I'm waiting for it to come in. So my guess is
Oh,
he's
right.
going to look at it. I wish he was still. He acts to, he's not a boy anymore. So he'll look at it and you'll be like, yeah, okay. But I can tell I hope he really wears it. He's not quite sure yet about Alabama. He's an East Coast kid, but I wanted to get the Alabama one. So
If he rejects it, it's yours.
yeah, so if he rejects it, I'm gonna say, well, I'll say fine. I'm gonna wear it, or he can be a little entrepreneur himself, and I'll say only if you can sell it for $500.
And he gets to keep 100 and give you 400.
Then, well, no, he can keep it if he can find a way to auction it himself for that. Then I think he deserves it.
Okay, that'd be a great learning process.
It's a win-win.
It would be
What a
nice
story.
if he wore it. I think it's such a beautiful hoodie.
Do you have a picture?
Yeah, I'll get it. I'll share it here in a moment.
Yeshua. Yeshua.
Yes.
I
Yes.
saw my doctor on Monday and I told him about the EE systems. He's going to look it
And
up
okay.
so he can include it in his new clinic that he's building. I'm very excited about that.
Wonderful. I will text you, but I believe I saw in one of the emails that the Santa Fe location is opening soon, and or it could already be open.
I couldn't find it.
I will look for it and let you know. Or
Okay.
if I see a projected opening date.
Mershid, what's your experience of the EE system so far?
She asking you?
You.
Nothing. I just took a nap. But I didn't have any positive or negative experience. It was just like a great place to take a nap, and I usually wanted to sleep more after it was over. So I would say I was sleeping more like extra 4 hours a day. I need to start salt and pepper. All right.
Maybe it just deeply relaxes you.
Huh? Say that again?
Maybe it just deeply relaxes you.
She said maybe it deeply relaxes you.
Yeah, it does. Do you have the same experience?
I've had the same experience that being able to find a deeply restorative posture or space is very easy to be in.
Now, Marcina went a few times. You could tell her, you could ask her experience.
Yeah, I also had a couple of really deep naps. I did not have to go to bed when I got home. I didn't feel that way. And I also studied some Kundalini yoga material, getting ready for the course. And it was very easy to concentrate, very easy to focus and concentrate. And I got a lot of work done in 2 hours.
How long is the session?
His were 2 to 2.5 hours, depending on the day.
Couple
Wow.
hours.
Anywhere from 1 to 2.5 hours. Some locations also offer you to sleep there overnight for 8 or 10 hours.
10 hours.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks.
What is the proposed experience supposed to give you?
Well, it depends on what one's current circumstances are. Everyone's, whether it's a disease or a sickness, or in Issa's case, it was pain. But from my understanding, the EE system, what it does is it promotes the natural or healthy environment for the body's innate intelligence to restore itself properly. If I could sum it up in a sentence, that's, I believe, the best way I could sum it up.
Yeah, I read that. And I also heard that it rebalances or resets your cellular level.
Correct.
So I read some stuff. It sounded like it produced profound healing and profound pain reduction.
It depends, I mean, it depends on one's experience. For some people, they've seen changes happen within 1 or 2 weeks. For some people, it's going a few times a week for 6 months or a year. And that very well could be the case. I've seen many case studies of that being what people experience. And Yeah, I guess that would be my answer to that.
Well, you have to
Phenomena.
go for a year or more.
You don't have to. It just, like I said, everyone's situation is unique. And for the EE system is typically 50% of the protocol. Staying hydrated and eating a healthy, well-balanced diet is going to be the other 50% as well. Being able to maintain a healthy environment for the body's innate intelligence to heal itself.
Did you say innate intelligence?
Yes.
You said innate intelligence.
Yeshua, I have
Yes.
I have a question. There is somebody called Brad Hunsaker, and he has this EE system in Encinitas, close to
Yes.
the. Yes, you know that?
I know Brad, yes.
Oh, goody, good. So, have you all been there?
I have been there before, but no one else has. Pure
Why
has
don't
talked to
you?
him
Why don't you take Issa there?
because we're currently working on getting a 4-unit system for the house so that Issa can be around it whenever he chooses to. And
Okay.
the rest of the house as well.
I hope that that happens, and yeah, I'm so glad you know Brad. All right, thank you.
If Jim Freeburn will pay back the loan he took in the way he agreed to, we can buy a, what's the one they have there?
24.
24. That would really be amazing.
I
We are
thought
going to.
I was paying for Lilu's education with that money.
What you say?
I don't know.
Well, we'll start with 4.
That's correct.
Ramona was just saying that money could pay for Lilu's education.
Well, that was part of the idea. The only reason I lent it to him is because he assured me that he would pay it back exactly like he said. But somehow about 2/3 through our relationship, one day he was at our old house on Lahoud Street, and he just announced to me he didn't want to be part of the school anymore. He didn't want to be asked to do anything. He didn't want to be of service. And he just wanted to do whatever he wanted to do. So it was a bit of a shock, but I guess I appreciate somebody being so honest. And but nothing's been good in that relationship. And I kept a positive view of it for a long time, but that's just my weakness. I would like, I want to think the best of people and things that work out good. So sometimes I'm blind to what's really going on. Rashida had her own experience during that period. Anyway, we can't allow our life to be governed by what happens out there. And the way we do that is practice Rudu Yoga. Rudu Yoga has the ability, if you practice it, it can create unlimited wealth. And it just shows up when you need it. And I found that to be absolutely perfect and true.
Sounds wonderful.
Well, it's just Rudu Yoga. It's normal for Rudu Yoga. But I studied and practiced it for over 11 years. I mean, it doesn't come just like that. As modern American people, we want things to be as quick as the content we watch and then go get something to eat while That is going on. We want things to go like that. Instant gratification. Where Buddha Yoga is one of the greatest benefit of it, if you're successful in practicing it, is that it develops your mind into a perfect, disciplined tool that you don't have to use anymore. It's just there, and you only attract what you need to see or hear, and you don't need to do anything. It just, the mind has become the essence of what it can be. Rashida knows what I'm talking about. Marshita teaches that there are introductory parts. We offer the introductory, every system, whatever it is, it has an introductory part, and then it has a beginning part, it has a middle part, then it has an advanced part, and then it has a secret part. Any system. And Marshita teaches the introductory part. She teaches it, I think, 5 or 6, 7 times a week. And nobody here ever shows up to it except for Clint. Oh, the people in the course show up to it because that's their agreement. They show up to the ones about the course if they're taking the comprehensive course. But otherwise, none of the people that we've known for a long time show up, including the people that are keeping my prediction perfect. The people that choose to not be here. And I really didn't get clear about something, so I want to ask again. Who is it that is saying that I've banned them or banished them from Dharma Night? Who is saying that? I left the conversation last night and I didn't remember I got an answer to that. Oh, Prim Deb disappeared. Oh, thank goodness she's back. So
You never
anytime
got an
Prim Deb-
answer.
Where anytime Prim Deb disappears, we're all gonna go like this. And then when she comes back, we're all gonna go like that. Does anybody know who's spreading this rumor? Because
I believe what happened, from my understanding of yesterday, was that Garuda may have heard something at one of the Dharma Nights, and the way that she portrayed her message yesterday may not have been completely the way that she received it. I don't know if that's true, Garuda, but that was what I understood.
So you think nobody told her that? She just decided that that's when I described I gave them a
That was how she perceived it, yes.
A focus. I gave them something to focus them if they really wanted to do this. And it was a very mild thing. It wasn't like this big old, oh, I don't know, I'm going to do that. It was just make a little effort to show that it really mattered. And I had the feeling that maybe they would just choose to disappear. And they didn't. So I love the way the Shakti works because Shakti is all knowing, and that's the way it worked. Pure. You're so beautiful. I love you. Where are you?
Here, can we get a front lat spread, please?
I love you. And I'm at the cool LA fitness gym.
Oh, okay. I've been there. I know that room. Clint, what do you want to talk about in New York?
Did you see my pictures? I texted you.
Oh, no, I have a tablet right here.
Oh, it looks like I can. Here, I can share. Let's see.
Oh, you're talking about pictures of the
hoodie.
The hoodie. The jersey.
Did you put it on hard cap so we can
Yeah,
all
I'll put it right here. looks simple, but it's
Oh, yeah, hey, there's a whole lot of words after that, but because you sent it to me and Eric, but I'm seeing it very clearly. That's really something.
It's not in the hard drives.
What?
He's adding it.
Yeah, I'll put it. Can't share it yet on the screen. I'll do it.
This Utopia, Texas since '91. What is that? That part of it?
Yeah, it's something special. I don't know. You'll have to ask the
You
boy.
don't know yet. You don't know yet? Or
No, I'm not.
know?
Well, that's one of the guys. That's his line, I think. I'm a little out of the loop with my.
Well, his name might be Cactus Jack. That might be
Yeah.
his name. And then I'm looking at the back of it, and like these two Alabama things are
Yeah.
dropped in there. Yeah, it's really cool. Okay, thanks for sending that.
Yeah, it's nice. I like it.
Okay. Anything
I
else
don't
you want
see
to
it.
share with us from New York? We love hearing from New York. It's the greatest city in the world. They also have some problems there. Anytime I see some really huge problem, I send it to you. Did you read the two I sent you today?
No,
Yes.
I have my own problem with I have my own challenges at the moment, but
Well, you don't.
I
you
share
don't need to
similar
read
challenges
much.
with the way that people are in need of our government here is a bit unorganized.
Yeah. And I always send things like that to you and Master P-Dog. And I don't ever know whether you look at them, but you might. They're interesting to me. Pure, what do you want to talk about?
I want to talk that I've made some nice friends here at LA Fitness, and they're very inspiring because their physique is very nice and strong.
Nah.
What do you say?
He said
The last thing.
he said that they have a very good physique and they're strong.
Oh,
So he's inspired.
that's fantastic. You going in that direction? Did it get you saying, I want that?
Yeah.
All right. That'll be great. Maybe Saraswati will follow your lead once you turn into a ripped muscle man. And something else you want to talk about? That was worth 10 Dharma Nights.
No, I'm grateful and I love you all. Thank you.
Yeah,
Love
I'm
you.
great. Hey, what did we hear about grateful today? Something is dark turns into something light. Oh, isn't that Shantaya? Didn't you talk to me about something turns into grateful? Something dark?
That was me.
That was you. Okay, wasn't you? Anyway,
We were talking,
tell everybody that. I thought that was really interesting.
it was based on my shirt. My shirt says, I am the power. And he was wondering where it came from. And it comes from my mentor. He has a ministry called the Light Beings. And within that is he teaches creatorhood. And we were talking about emotional intelligence and emotional efficacy, different ways of processing and moving from one emotion to the other. And so I shared with Issa a little bit about how my mentor shares that there are 6 gateway emotions that we experience. And then there are 6 mature forms of each of those emotions. And the one that we talked about was when one experiences the emotion of sadness, that sadness would then be whatever word you want to use, transmuted, or you just move from that state of sadness or identity of sadness into an identity of gratitude.
Transmuted into, it's good.
Yeah.
And it's, what is it go into?
Gratitude. From
Gratitude.
sadness to gratitude.
And there was a second one you brought up.
I brought up, and I think I brought this up at the course to Murshida, but the second one that he talks about is anger to willpower. And he has, what he experiences, 6 gateway emotions and 6 mature forms of each of the emotions.
You want to tell us the other 4?
Whew, all right, let's jog my memory. So
He's in a training, and this is the first level, and he's taken it a few times. But there's going to be a second level and a third level, and then beyond that, you know, like leadership training. So that's the 3 things plus the other part.
correct. You have guilt to love, fear to confidence, surprise into wonderment,
Whoa. Shock. Maybe shock would be a better word.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm shocked.
well,
Wonderful.
well, yeah, because surprise could go one of 2 ways. Where you typically experience surprise, and then you go from surprise into one of the other emotions. It could be surprise, you just won $1 million, or surprise, your whole family passes away. So surprise brings you
Something
into
you weren't expecting, in other words. Wonderment. Okay. And what's the left? There's one more.
sadness, gratitude, anger, willpower, fear, confidence, joy to peace.
Joy to peace.
Joy to peace. Those are what he refers to as 6 gateway emotions and 6 mature forms of those emotions.
Do I have my brush?
Yeah.
Oh, that's really, I felt that was really enlightening. Rashida, do you have something you'd like to talk about tonight?
I enjoyed a beautiful flow today in a flow of events today. And
Uh-huh.
yesterday, which was Tuesday, was a day of I was very busy yesterday and trying to get some things on track and in place for Rose to help her prepare for the next piece and keep up with my classes and students. So it was a day of pushing through and getting things done because of need, because of necessity. And then we had our early morning practice, which I was a little concerned about how I would feel in the morning getting up early after that big day on Tuesday. But I woke up 15 minutes before the alarm and had my tea, and it was spacious. Had a beautiful practice. I had great energy after the practice. I met another client, an old friend that I haven't seen in a year, who's the ER physician that some of you have heard me talk about, Alex. And we had a beautiful breakfast together, and then I gave her a session, a Feldenkrais session. And that was just a beautiful flow. My collarbone's working great. I could get the table in and out of the car. I could work on her, and she's like a 300-pound girl. She's a big girl. And I had no problem giving her a session.
Rose, Who is,
Now, this is a person,
Rose?
the ER physician, Alex, who's been doing Feldenkrais with me for years and years, and whose husband started seeing me for years and years before he passed away.
What's ER?
emergency room
I
doctor?
get it.
Yeah, she works the night shift. She has an intense job. And for
Yeah.
years, she would come home and then have caretaking with her husband, who died at 94. And now her sister has cancer and has been battling cancer for a year and a half in Italy. She's Italian. And she goes back and forth to her ER job in LA and takes care of her sister in Italy.
Wow.
But anyway, we have this great connection, and it was a beautiful session, and it ended really, really well, which gave me confidence about myself and my healing, and that even though I don't continue extra training in Feldenkrais, I haven't been taking trainings and courses in a while, that I can still make a powerful effect. And
Give it 1 second, Jim.
Congratulations. I'm glad you.
yeah, it was great. It was just great to get the confirmation. When I came home, Rose was taken care of because she went to a treatment. She had somebody to drive her to the treatment. She was gone for a while today, so I didn't have to be concerned about her. And I came back in time to have a nap that I could take for as long as I wanted. I woke up early before my alarm, also before needing to go see the little boy, Caleb. So I woke up ahead, having rested as much as I wanted, had a great
Woohoo.
with him. He's 6, he's going to be 7 this year. He's learning to sit up on his own. And he sat up on his own for a good 15 towards 20 minutes with me today on his own without assistance. Not that I didn't have my hands on him all the time, but it was just such a strong session, and I could even get behind him and do delicate work on his spine and his shoulder blade and his hip, and he didn't just collapse back on me, which he's always done, because if he knows I'm back there, he's just going to lay back. But kept listening. It was really cool. This little boy was really quiet and listening, and he stayed up, and it was just delightful, super delightful. And then I got back just in time for 5:30 class. I was 5 minutes late, but I let people know I was probably going to be about 5 minutes late. And pretty soon Megumi came on, and she had about a 40-minute window before she went to work. So we did a light hatha yoga practice. And it was just the right amount. It was a perfect practice. It felt really complete. I had time to eat from 6:30 to 7:20 in a relaxed way. And then I came to Dharma Night. So it's just been a magical, heavenly, full of flow, full of love and light.
Is it 3 and 3?
In all my exchanges today. Just incredible and beautiful.
Nice.
So I just have a little show and tell about this magical day. And this is Noah's painting that she gave to me today.
Who gave that to you?
Her name is Noah, and she is 4.
Ah,
Is she one of the children you tell me about?
Yeah, she's part of the family that I go visit when I go to take care of Caleb. And then Caleb, who is 6, going to be 7 this year, he did this one.
Wow. Those are nice.
And the colors are just gorgeous, and also
Yeah.
natural. And Rose's garden is blooming beautifully out front, and it's just been another world today. Just
I
beautiful.
bet.
That's great. I thought you should be surrounded by flowers.
I am. And beautiful artwork.
Yeah, it's nice.
Hello. Oh, I'm loving it.
So thanks for listening to my little story of Wednesday. And the daily word today is world peace.
Yay.
And being the peace that we all have inside of us and sharing it with everyone we see.
Would you
I
talk a
love it.
little? Go ahead.
I'm done.
Somebody was talking. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
I'm
I thought
Isa, can you see me? Do you
No.
know that I'm here? This is Garuda.
See your name.
Oh, disappeared.
No, I'm still here. I'm not sure why I'm a stick person.
No,
you
you're not
just-
even a stick person. You're a name. You need to turn on your video camera.
I need a what?
Turn your video camera on. On the Zoom app, there's a place to turn on the video.
I see the sound. Oh, maybe.
Marshita, will you talk a little bit about that boy you tell me about? Usually when you tell about the children, you tell me about this boy.
Well, that's what I was saying in part of my story is how well he sat on his own today for such a long time and with
Okay.
a lot of stability, and even where I could do delicate work behind him, sitting behind him where he didn't collapse back on me, but he stayed up listening to the lesson and really, really paying attention. It's really great.
Oh, I didn't realize you were talking about him. I thought you were talking about the ER doctor that weighs 300 pounds. I mean, you said she falls back on you. That's why I said, whoa.
No, she was on the table.
I missed the transition to people.
Yeah.
I feel like I have a relationship with that boy. I've been able to really feel him through you and just feel he's part of my heart. You've become part of my heart.
Yeah. The whole family is a beautiful family. They're a Christian family, and they live as true Christians. They are living in Christ's love and light.
You don't want the rest of it. That's really beautiful. Do they talk to you much about that?
Sometimes Crystal and I have a conversation about that. When I came to the door today, because it's been Easter, she had a plaque on her front door that said, "He is risen." And so, they put out their things for the different celebrations. And
So they really are focused on living the teaching of Jesus as a
yes,
family.
right.
That's very, very special. Very special.
Yeah.
And I grew up in a quote Christian family and was in a church with Christian families. And there wasn't anything Christian about any of it.
Yeah.
It was all business and golf and who knows what all.
Coffee and donuts.
What?
And
What'd you
coffee
say?
and donuts in the basement.
Coffee and donuts in the basement.
Oh, yeah, there was another church I went to with coffee and donuts. Did we go to that one?
No, but I grew up in churches with coffee and donuts in the basement after church.
I actually remember a church like that, a different time.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a certain feeling that it was almost like a social obligation. It's part of the way you want to, if you're a salesman, you want to appear a certain way. And a good man goes to church and he organizes his golf games at church and then who's going to play. And that was how I experienced it. Set me up to meet Yogi Bhajan. I threw that baby out with the bathwater. This Ramana, do you have something you'd like to talk about?
No, I don't.
Prem Dev, do you have something you'd like to talk about?
I do, but is
Yeah,
it
wait.
okay if you don't use my
Yes,
face for a
yeah,
minute?
wait, you disappeared. We have to have your
No,
face.
I'm saying right now, this is the only way I can speak. So I mean, I don't have to. I'd like to talk about something, but I don't have to if you really need to see my face.
Wait a minute.
Dave, you already figured it out though. You figured out how to unmute.
I know I did, but then it went back. I don't understand what the process is.
You have to be
And I'm
on.
trying to find out, but
Brenda, you have to be on the Zoom app. Are you on the Zoom app? Go back
I mean,
to
I
the
didn't
Zoom app.
change, and it was working. So
Well, we can.
There you
go.
I see
now it's
you.
perfect. Now we can see you. So, oh, you disappeared again.
Yeah,
no,
she came on for
that was
just a
because
minute. Can you see me now?
forget it. It's okay. I don't care.
We can see you,
I don't want
Garita,
to talk. It's all right.
and hear you.
Yes, you can see me now, huh?
We can, and we
I
can hear
figured
you.
it out.
Yay!
And since you were talking about 6-year-old, I wanted to talk about Aiden.
Okay, we'll let
Yes,
them figure this.
he and his mama cat came to see me about 2 nights ago, and they were so precious and wonderful, and I just love it. And she's my adopted daughter. And since you were talking about a 6-year-old, I wanted to talk about him. What's the matter with that little boy with his back?
He was prematurely born by a good 3 months, and it seemed
Wow.
like he had possible in utero stroke.
Wow.
Had had the water on the brain. He has a shunt, has cerebral palsy, is nonverbal, and he's still, learning how to carry himself. But he's sitting up now finally.
Oh, how wonderful. Wow, wow, wow.
And he's
Hey, anyway, it reminded me Aiden is 6 years old and he'll be 7 in July. And he was so precious. And I remember that I was in the Blue House when he was born.
Yeah,
Yeah,
glad you got to visit.
yeah.
That's wonderful. Now let's move back over to Prem Dev. Did you figure it out? Because we'll help you figure it out if you can't, we did help you figure it out and then it went away, but we can help you more. You want to see if you can talk and it goes away? Oh, it went away.
No,
Whenever,
every time when I turn my microphone off, I have to get into a screen where apparently my picture goes away at the moment. So, do you want me to just?
There must be.
I can just
because
opt out and try something else.
No, we want to hear what you want to say. We want you to be here. We feel patient. If it takes 3 hours to help you figure this out. But Garuda, you only have a phone, isn't that right?
Yes.
Hey, and Dave, I
Garuda?
think you can talk right now. It'll be all right. Don't push anything, just talk.
Right now?
Right now, we can hear you and see
Yeah.
you. You are
We can see.
unmuted. We can see you and hear you. Don't touch anything.
Okay, thanks. Good. That's helpful.
Whoa, simple solution. Thank you, Rashida.
I wanted to share that I saw that movie, The Good Shepherd, that was recommended.
Yeah, that's a good movie.
Sure is.
Did it fit?
Issa recommended this movie called The Good Shepherd, and I was thinking I didn't read anything about it. I just turned it right on, and I was thinking that it sounded very familiar, and I know the woman who was one of the daughters of James Jesus Angleton, who is the movie's based on, and it's a really interesting story. Like, he actually lost his mind. He was so, I mean, then the movie didn't really address this, but he was James Jesus Angleton, the guy who was, the original CIA head back at the time of the Kennedys. He actually lost his mind. And it's often theorized, there's been a bunch of books about him, but it's often theorized that the reason he became crazy, besides all the stress that he was under all the time, was that a guy who he really, really trusted, and it's really, and the movie stresses over and over how you can never trust anybody, and it's super hard. And there was one operative who he really trusted and had a friendship with, and his trust had been tested over and over again, and he felt like he could really trust him. And that guy was the mole. That guy completely betrayed him and sold him out. And shortly after, his mental health was really challenged, and he even, I forget the name of this initiative, but it was where they were spying on citizens and opening United States citizens' mail and tapping their phones, like just right and left. And he just gave everybody in the CIA, these orders to, make sure that people weren't, Russian operatives, and opening their mail and spying on people all the time. And eventually he was found out, and he was basically like gracefully let go, and it was recommended that he, get help. And that was really concealed largely from the American public. But when he died, he was in his late 60s, and he was just taking care of their rose gardens and finally getting a chance to connect with his kids. Because it's like the movie was, when his first child was born, he was away, and he didn't even meet his firstborn child until the child was like 6.5. And then he was estranged from his wife, but then they'd get kind of back together briefly, and they had 2 more kids. And his wife met Yogi Bhajan and started to go to yoga classes. And then the 2 daughters both are in Sikh Dharma.
What?
And
Was
they're
this
both
in the
Sikh
movie?
Dharma.
What did you say?
No.
What did you say? The 2 daughters are what?
In Sikh Dharma.
Oh,
The 2 daughters, of James Jesus Angleton, right, who died. He was the first head of the CIA. His 2 daughters are in Sikh Dharma.
Wow.
And his wife was really interested too. And he wanted to meet, or Yogi Bhajan really wanted to meet him. So they had a few meetings. Him and James Angleton. Yeah. So, but I just thought that was really interesting, that just like they took all that pressure and like never seeing their father and this weird way to grow up, and they turned it into that. They turned it into, being people who are not confused as to their purpose of why they're on the planet.
how interesting. And for you to be personally connected to it, you can thank the Shakti for that, because
Yeah.
I had no idea that was going to be part of you discovering it. That's really special.
Yeah, it was cool. I was like, wait a minute, this sounds familiar. Oh, well, yeah.
Well,
So.
I'm going to recommend another movie to you that moved me in a very similar way. It's called The Accountant. It's about a man what has he got, Marshita?
Well, he's compulsive.
No, he's got a disease, a mental disease. It's called
Well, I think he's considered autistic.
autistic. That's it. It's about an autistic man who is functioning in the world, and it's played by an actor who I've never seen a more brilliant acting job than The Accountant. Clint, have you seen The Accountant?
Yes.
Was that Matt Damon?
Ben Affleck.
Did you? Oh, it was Ben Affleck. I got him mixed up. Did you find it to be as impressive an acting job as I did?
Yeah, and I'll watch it again.
I could watch
Wow.
it again too. It was really extraordinary. It's
Okay,
on Netflix. At least it was last month. It probably still is. Okay, let's see. I'm going over to, as soon as Marshita comes back, I'm gonna go over to ask the people here. But while Marshita's gone away, I can work with Garuda and Prem Dev on something that I've been wanting to make happen, but I hadn't been successful yet. Okay, Garuda?
Yes, sir.
Garuda,
Yes, sir.
can you see Prem Dev?
I cannot see Primdev.
All right. Somebody's got to help me with this. I see, well, Ramana is like horrible. She just always in and out, in and out, in and out. So I was going to get to her last because she argues with me. But I want to see if I can, I want to figure out why Garuda can't see Prem Dev, because I see Ramana and Prem Dev and Garuda. And on the top row, I see Clint and Murshida.
Garuda, you ready for the answer? You're gonna have to swipe your phone. Well, if you're on your phone, you can only see so many screens at once.
Oh yeah, that's what it is.
Right now,
you-
I can only see you guys. I can't
Yeah.
see the other people.
So take your finger and swipe it from right to left on the screen. Do you see someone else now?
Oh, I see them. Everybody there.
Yeah,
There you
now,
go.
the next thing is turn your phone 45 degrees. And be sure your screen lock's not on.
Be sure what?
Your screen lock is not on. You can't turn your phone and go into landscape mode if your screen lock is on.
How do I know that?
Now, can you see Prem Dev, Garuda?
Garuda, there you
Yes,
go.
yes,
Yeah.
yes, I can.
You did it. Now, put your screen lock on, and it'll
I don't
stay
know what
like
that is,
this.
babe.
Garuda, so go in the top right corner of your phone and swipe down.
Top right and swipe
Did
down.
that pull up a menu for you?
Nope, it didn't do anything.
Okay, well, you went back to the wrong way.
Just
So
turn your phone 90 degrees.
Yeah.
Turn
Turn
it
your phone.
on its side.
Okay,
Got it. I
that's-
got it.
Stay
Now I can
like
see Primdev.
Stay like that. Clint never leaves that kind of landscape mode. And you had been able to see him. Now, Prem Dev, you got into landscape. Could you get back into it? Prem Dev?
Let me see. Oh, hang on a sec.
Turn your phone 45 degrees.
45 degrees.
There. Now, Garuda's Prem Dev look different?
I can see Primdev.
Okay, but does she look different than when she's like this or like this?
No.
Okay, well, I don't know why you can't see it, but Prem Dev, can you see Garuda?
Yeah.
Oh, you gotta go back. You flipped your phone. Okay. Now, that's where you want to stay in the Dharma Night. Do you want to learn how to put on a screen lock?
I mean, I can just go into my settings, right?
No, we have to put your phone back the way it was.
Okay.
Upright.
And now do what he does.
Swipe down, you get a screen like
You
this.
see that menu he got up?
I have an iPhone. I think it's an 8.
So maybe
Right.
yours is from the bottom. If you, I
She
think-
has an iPhone 8. Maybe that's the problem.
no, she can still do it. Yours is going to be a little different, whether it's in the corner or maybe you have to go like from the bottom up.
It's the bottom left.
Bottom left.
So
Okay.
what are we trying to do right now?
Put
Lock
on
your
her screen lock.
And then there's a button that has a lock with a circle around it.
Oh, okay, I see it.
And you press that, and then no matter how you orient your tablet or your phone, the camera will always stay the same.
Okay.
First get your phone in the right position and then press that button and it'll turn red. It'll turn red.
Okay.
My
Okay.
phone's
So
not
is
red.
this how that definitely
Now
changed things?
turn
Is
your
what you want
phone
me to do?
around and see if your screen moves. Uh-oh, you hadn't got it on yet. Because your screen flipped.
Okay.
We'll work on this another time. At least, Garuda, you got to get in the right position again. Okay, that's good, Primdev. No, you went back.
All I did was I changed the button so that I pushed it in and it turned red.
Yeah, but
Okay,
you don't
so
want to lock it in this position. You want to lock it in that position. The landscape.
I see.
So unlock. You now lock it.
Woo!
Okay.
We did it. Baby.
Garuda, you get yourself right again.
Say that
You're
again.
you're out of landscape mode. Get back in landscape mode. Turn your phone 45 degrees.
Nice.
Okay, let's stay that way. Don't move during Dharma night.
Okay.
Because everybody can see you and you can see everybody. When you go in that other thing, nobody can see you and you can't see anybody.
But guess what? I'm a little postage stamp size compared to everybody else.
Doesn't matter. It's still the same, whether you're a postage stamp size or you're like a widescreen Tadeo size.
I want to
Maybe
be
not that one.
a widescreen size.
You know, there's a whole lot of chatter on the internet about Dune 2. Evidently, Dune is like
That's what I was just going to ask about.
moving not only critics, but people. It's like hitting a new level. But people, there's a group of people that are saying if they made Dune 2 in Tadeo, it would be even more amazing. And some people are using software to show us what that would look like in certain, screens.
What is Todeo? Thanks.
Clint, he wants to know what's Tadeo. Will you tell
I
him?
think that all of us here have no idea what you're talking about. What is Todeo?
Todd
Todd.
Deo.
Deo. Person, place, thing?
God.
It's a way of making movies.
Does Clint know? Oh, we're thinking about it. Todd.
Premdev, you're talking, but you're muted.
Primdev laughed when I said it, so I thought he knew what I was talking about. Anyway, we don't need to talk about Tadeo. There was a time when all the fitters changed their screen and changed their cameras and changed everything because this new technology came out that was super widescreen and just the colors were brilliant. And that was when they were still using film, and it was beautiful. Then later, people started using digital because it's cheaper and easier, and the quality went through the toilet. So the people that remember Tadeo can imagine what Dune would look like if it were in that technology. But nobody makes Tadeo movies anymore.
Tadeo is what they shot that chariot race in. That was one of the first Tadeo movies.
What was it?
The chariot races.
Oh, yeah. All right, well, this has been a wonderful Dharma night, and I think Mershita's not coming back.
Yep.
So I'm going to ask the people here if they have something they want to talk about. You have something you want to talk about? No. You have something you want to talk about?
Well,
I know you do.
well, the first thing I was gonna say is, are we gonna watch Dune the day it comes out? We're gonna have a Dune party.
Yeah, let's have a Dune party. I think it's the 14th and the 15th. But Google will tell you when it's coming out.
It's on IMAX. Dune 2's on IMAX.
We want it to be on our TV.
Yeah, so we can watch it with Issa and Rashida.
Oh. It's
We've
on
all-
IMAX.
most of us have already seen it multiple times already, but we want to see it together.
Yeah, and if you see it in the theater, it's just
It's on-
terrible quality.
It's on IMAX.
What do you mean by that?
It's on
IMAX,
it's on the
IMAX.
Roku Max channel.
IMAX is probably really good. Did you see it in IMAX?
No, it's not IMAX. I made a mistake. It's on the
Okay.
Max channel.
You'll enjoy it much more on a widescreen TV because the quality is actually better than since they took movies digital and stopped using film. Film, the quality of movies in theaters just went into the trash, and then everybody got used to it, and that's normal now.
It's on TV now on the Max channel.
You mean it's on Apple?
It's on my Roku under the Max channel.
You make Mac like Macintosh?
MAX.
MAX.
It's on Mac.
MAX. MAX.
You sure it's 2 and not 1?
I don't think it is.
Maybe.
We'll check after this, but
Yeah, we'll check.
my other question was, where or how does Namkai Norbu fit into the Bon tradition or the Tibetan tradition? Because
That's a good question. Dhamma Nobu, even though he was one of the leading Buddhist scholars and masters who came out of Tibet and got, basically escaped the Chinese before they could destroy it and kill everybody. But that's not an exaggeration, that's literal.
Yeah.
He was one of them, and he ended up in Italy. But he was basically Bun. He was the one of all the masters who came, like the Dalai Lama came, and there were a few others. He was more Bun than any of them. He really rooted in the Bun position. And so anytime I looked into his eyes, I got the transmission of the Bun. And I didn't know what I was getting. I just knew that it was special. He focused more on teaching Dzogchen than any of the other teachers who were the main teachers at that time. Like, Namkai Norbu.
Trungpa.
Yeah, all of those teachers, I just not thinking of right now.
Tenzin came after.
Hmm?
Tenzin was after.
it'd be Lopan, Tenzin Namdam.
Well, anyway, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
But he focused just on Dzogchen. And that was what I felt a resonance with, Dzogchen. And I was just still learning about all this. And then Murshida and I decided we were going to find Dzogchen. I've been looking for a while, and after 10 years, we found Tenzin. And then we could understand the big picture.
And so you met or went to one of Namkai Norbu's events? You've met him before?
Yes, I went to one. He came to LA, and there was it's a house with a big living room, kind of like that, and a much smaller house, but with a living room that big. And they hosted Buddhist teachers, and they were there for a weekend, and I was there. Yeah, that was when I've told the story before. It's really worth telling again. Okay, so I finally got to see Namkai Norbu. I was really ready. And so I got there early because in Rudra Yoga, we do things early. So I got there early, and then people started coming in and sitting down. And, it starts at a certain time, but it wasn't like he showed up exactly at that time. And people were just, lightly, very respectfully, but lightly chatting, waiting for it to start.
Mhm.
And then he came in, but he came in almost invisible. Not literally, but he came in like he didn't want to disturb what was going on. And they had a platform for him to sit on that was no higher off the ground than this. And he just goes and he sits there and he's just kind of like this. And he's just, basically, everybody just took it, he's not ready to talk yet, and it's okay, what's going on? But I was practicing Rudra with him like it never existed. I was so focused on it because I knew what to do. I was practicing Rudra. And I did that for about maybe 10 minutes. And then he said, okay, I gave the transmission of Dzogchen. Now we'll teach you the yoga postures. Then I got it. I might have been the only person, I don't know if I was the only person, but most everybody was not
Aware.
not focused that way. They were there to hear somebody talk and ideas and philosophy, stuff.
Yeah.
Same thing with there's that fellow in that famous picture. He's really skinny and he has a big head and a skinny neck and it's really long. He's up in Vancouver and he's sitting like this. It's one of 4 Buddhist teachers that brought Buddhism out of China.
Kalu Rinpoche?
Kalu, yeah. Kalu, I had a similar experience with Kalu.
Looks like E.T.
Hmm?
He looks like E.T.
Yeah, he does. There's a new Kalu now. Been
Yes, there
out
is.
for years.
Yes, there is.
You see this
Martina,
bag?
you're back. We decided, she disappeared.
Oh, one sec.
We got her meeting ID though.
Gotta press back. There we go.
Oh, there she is. We decided to just chat and talk like we were in a room together until you got back. I didn't know you even were leaving. So
I-
what'd you do while you were gone?
Checked in on Rose and heated her up some soup. And while she was eating, staying nearby because sometimes she chokes on her food and needs a little assistance. And I
Oh, so people brought her food?
Well, we have different soups blended up for her in the fridge from different people.
Yeah, please.
What is the different people part? Do you understand that? Does she have like other people living in the house?
No, friends who have made her soup and we've blended them up to creamy
Were they
consistency.
there?
She can swallow them. No, that's just people have brought her food that she can eat. And it is stored in the freezer and the fridge.
Okay. And you were sitting there while she ate?
No, I heated her soup up. I emptied the dishwasher. I put dirty dishes in the dishwasher and helped her with having enough napkins and things to use while she ate.
Oh, that's your job. You were just doing your job,
Yeah,
giving her Rashida treatment.
yeah. She needs quiet time while she eats, but sometimes she needs some assistance.
And she needs a lot of love.
Yeah, and she's
Specialty.
and then also somebody came over to clean out the port where she had the antibiotic. They have to saline wash it. So somebody came over to do that for her, and I saw him at the end.
Clean out the porch where she had her antibiotic.
Yeah, her saline port. Something to do with the medication that she's on.
It makes a mess on the porch?
You said
Port. It's a port that goes into her
has a-
body.
She has a portion of the cable.
Oh, port.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I've seen that. We've seen pictures of it in the movies sometimes.
a tube. Yes.
Wow, well, thanks for sharing that. That's really good. We love that you take your love up there
On tour.
and take care of people up there.
Yeah.
Did
Oh.
Rashida meet Malachi Norwood?
It's the Move
Rashida
with
meet
Mershida
Malachi
Traveling Love Show.
Did Rashida meet Malachi Norwood or just Tenzin?
No, Murshida, were you with me when I met Namkai Norbu?
No.
It was
That was-
later that we met, and we wanted to find a bun teacher, and we found Tenzin. Right?
Yeah. Namkai Norbu, you took Lochana and Steve Supreme with you in LA. And you and Maitreya went to Hawaii to see him, I think.
I did go to Hawaii. Was it
And
to see Namkai Norbu?
one time there was a Namkai Norbu trip in Hawaii. For sure Maitreya met, I think you went too on that trip. I think you were both.
I had my experience in LA, so I don't really remember. I
Yeah.
vaguely remember going to Hawaii for some reason.
The Trill Core of Namkai Norbu, the physical movements, you got that in LA and recorded it. You were allowed to film it. I learned by studying the film and by practicing with you and Steve and reading Lochana's notes. And then Maitreya came back with the ah practice and taught us all the ah sound practice after Hawaii.
It's really interesting you bring up Maitreya. I usually don't bring her up because she turned into such a horror. You know, she turned into the opposite of what made us so happy. But you actually had a really good experience with her. And she was really important part of your growth and your life. And it was all positive.
Yeah, it was positive for a long, long time. And she dropped a lot of nuggets in me. A lot of good nuggets.
Same
Like
here.
she was like Sophia in the sense that she was a great teacher. She could teach Dharma like nobody. Better than me, I guarantee you that. Both her and Sophia, much better than me at teaching Dharma. I don't even like to teach Dharma. I just like to live Dharma. And then if something comes up in a space and I'm close to someone, I'll share something. But I've never, people have bugged me before. Why aren't you teaching classes? Why aren't you teaching big groups of people? And I always say, oh, you want to organize that? Nothing ever happens. Anyway, it's funny that Sophia and Maitreya are the two that are best in that. I don't know where Sophia is. She won't come to Dharma Night anymore.
I'm
And
gonna tell her she's gonna come.
She controls function. I know that. She controls him. Now, he was the one that she said was her husband through, I think she said 2 eons of time across many lifetimes. We were standing in Malibu when she told me that. I always remind her. But I hadn't talked to her or seen her in months. Anyway, she's a great teacher if she teaches. Well, let's see.
I just want to say that I think Sophia really, really deeply loves you.
I know that. I would agree
and
with
deeply,
you.
deeply reveres you. And
I agree with you.
dedicated her whole life and her vagina to this particular school.
I know it's true. And it's bizarre. It's almost like, I know it's true, it's extremely true. But it's also extremely true that she avoids me like the plague. Not to say she thinks I'm the plague, but it's a phrase. She avoids any contact with me in the body. Hey, do you want to talk about something? I'm asking Saraswati. You sure?
Yeah.
Well, Saraswati, I know you're not going to talk about anything, and I know you don't have anything you want to talk about, but if you were going to talk about something, which I know you're not, what would it be? What could you tell us that we don't know? Now, is she in the frame?
No.
Okay, we
I'm
got,
gonna sit here.
No, she is.
there she is.
Oh, Saraswati learned that Cain named her in a lawsuit with her husband. Isn't that's something that I think we should figure out?
That's exciting. That means you're special.
No, it doesn't feel exciting.
Well, we have a lawyer, and it was Jerry's lawyer, and now it's our lawyer, and Funchin has given him his retainer, and they talk regularly, so I would talk to Funchin and Jerry about this, if you're really concerned about it.
Mm-hmm. Okay,
It seems like you're concerned.
sure, it's my first one. Didn't think I
well,
had to have one in this lifetime.
It's a joke. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
Nobody's gonna bother you.
I'm a felon.
You're Saraswati. They don't bother you. But you worry if you want to, because it's your first one. I don't want to get in your way of having a full experience. Okay, well, this has been my favorite Dharma night of all time, and I guess we've talked out. So, Clint, would you lead us in the Japanese yes?
Is that everybody?
Let's see, somebody else in the kitchen. Who's in there?
It's pure.
Oh, Pure, we got everybody.
Is it my turn?
Hey! Hey! Hey!
Hi.
Hey! Hey!
All right.
Computer, turn off